blessings and welcome to the Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel Roquéo, and as always, thank you so much for joining me, for tuning in, for allowing for a moment of expanding our consciousness and raising our vibration to happen, allowing for a moment where more love and more peace and more joy and harmony and wholeness and abundance to happen. I'm very grateful that you're choosing this out of all the many choices you could have made and that are available to every single one of us in every single moment. You're choosing to be here, which I'm very grateful. Today we are talking about another aspect of practice. Practice has been one of the themes that have been coming on the strongest these last few weeks or month maybe, and it is for a good reason. I mean, our level of practice absolutely determines the quality of our lives. There's a statement that speaks to that. There are probably many statements that speak to that, but the level of practice that we have, and practice is not only what we do when we sit and meditate. It is not only that dedicated hour in the morning or in the evening when we move into meditation and into prayer or whatever the case may be, but the practice we want to have, we want it to infuse our whole day to the best of our ability. We want it to infuse our lives moment to moment to moment to moment, so that we live from our practice, so that our practice is the very fundament upon we build our lives, or the very fundament upon which we allow for our lives to unfold. It is not just something that we do every now and then, but we want our lives to actually be a practice, a living, moving, walking practice of different kinds. So I was having a conversation a few days ago with an individual, and this individual, he's experiencing some health issues or health challenges, and he was experiencing worry around that. And I was able to share with him that worry is not a practice that serves us. If we're worried, we're worried, so there's no denying that. But worry, fear, and doubt in and of themselves are not practices that serve us. So to allow for healing to happen, to allow for the wholeness that is inherent within the body to begin to be expressed fully, we're wise to take a look, or actually I invited him to take a look at his habitual practice and where he habitually turns his attention, because our minds are repetitive and they are habitual, meaning that they pretty much think the same things over and over and over again. It's just cyclical. We worry about the same thing, we think about the same thing, we turn our attention toward the same things over and over and over again, until we either are pushed into some kind of change, or until we up-level that and begin to take control, to take our minds back to the point where we choose where we're turning our attention. And one of the things I was able to invite this individual to do was to, whenever he goes to the bathroom, instead of just going to the bathroom and allowing the mind to go wherever it goes when he goes to the bathroom, why not take that moment, why not use that moment as a moment to give thanks for all of the things that are working so beautifully in his body, which probably are like 98% of all of the bodily functions and actions and muscles and fibers and cells in the body. Instead of just going to the bathroom and kind of dronelessly move in and then move out. Why not use that? That is a beautiful space to give thanks, to lean into gratitude, to turn the attention toward what he wishes to experience. And this is an invitation for all of us to take a look at, what am I habitually turning my attention to? Where am I habitually turning my attention? Am I in the habit of turning my attention toward what I don't want to experience? When I'm walking into the store, or when we are walking into the store, for instance, are we habitually turning our attention toward all of the things that we cannot afford to buy? Or are we turning our attention toward the things that we can afford to buy? Are we turning our attention toward lack and scarcity? Or are we turning our attention toward the abundance? Every single store is a beautiful display of abundance. There's so many things, so many items in every single store. And even the innumerable of items in one particular store, that's just like a tiny fraction of the abundance that is in every store. And the abundance that is in every store is just a tiny fraction of the abundance that is so beautifully and clearly displayed in nature. So, what are we habitually turning our attention to? The habits that we're having when we are eating, for instance. When we sit down at the table and we pick up that fork or that spoon or that knife or whatever, are we just leaping into gulping down whatever is on our plate? Or are we having a habit of actually stopping and giving thanks for the efforts of every single one individual that has contributed to this particular meal being served on this particular plate, at my table, at our table? Are we giving thanks for the beautiful colors that we are able to actually do eat? That our body is functioning so well that we actually can eat, that we can chew, that we can see, that we can taste. Are we giving thanks that we are in a space that is so peaceful and so quiet that we can eat? Not all people can eat. Not all people can sit down at a table and enjoy their dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever the case may be. Some people are in war zones. Some people don't even have a table. So what are we practicing? What is our habitual practice? When we go to bed at night, are we giving thanks for the beautiful day that we've had? Yes, there may have been drama. Yes, there may have been frustration. Yes, there may have been a whole bunch of things. We're not to deny these. Whatever experiences we've had, we're wise to embrace and allow them. So we're not denying that we had them. But are we habitually turning our attention toward all the things that did not go as we wished them to go? Or is our habit to turn attention to the even greater number of things that went exactly the way we wanted to? That was to our absolute liking, that was a sheer joy. When we are out driving, when we get into our cars, or on the bus, or on the airplane, or the train, or whatever the case may be, are we habitually just once again sinking into fantasy land, becoming mindless drones? Or are we using that space to move into some kind of practice? So the bottom line really is, the habits that we are having, are they serving us? That's the question we want to ask. The habits that we're having, that we're currently having, that we're currently involving ourselves with, these may be conscious, these may be unconscious, but the practices that we're having, the habits that we're leaning into, that we're being run by, are they serving us? Are they serving peace? Are they serving love? Are they serving joy? Are they serving abundance? Are they serving wholeness, as in the case of this particular individual? Are they serving health? And if not, how can we tweak them? How can we exchange them? How can we up-level them? Because we all have been given the free will to choose to make conscious choices in every single moment. So if we become aware that we perhaps have a habit or some kind of malpractice or non-practice that does not serve us, we can absolutely begin to cultivate, develop a new habit, a new practice that serves us, that serves us staying in a high vibration, that serves us being in an expanded consciousness, or to expand our consciousness, not being in, but to expand our consciousness over and over and over again. So the habits that we're having, are they serving us? The practices that we're having, are they serving us? This is the invitation, because we, and I say we and really mean humanity. I know that there are many individuals that are very powerful light beings, lighthouses, light workers, that are beautiful embodiments of love and peace and joy and wholeness and abundance. And then there are others who are more living their lives as victims, mindless victims, just being tossed into one drama to another, to the third, to the next. They're continuously projecting their own sense of not being enough onto the world, moving through life as though life was a obstacle course that they need to be protected from or be aware of. So there's a lot of fear and worry and doubt in the world. But every single one of us has the ability to take our minds back, to begin to cultivate a sense of deep and profound love, deep and profound trust, deep and profound peace, deep and profound joy that is not dependent on external conditions and circumstances, but that is radiated, that is emerging from within us. Because all of these beautiful qualities, love and peace and joy and harmony and abundance and wholeness and creativity and bliss and all of these, they are inherent within every single one of us. No one is lacking them. Not one of us is lacking them, but they're all here. The question is, where are we turning our attention to? What are we allowing to emerge from within us? And all of this comes down to our level of practice. As I began by saying that someone once said that the quality of our lives is directly related to our level of practice. And there are so many practices that it's like a smorgasbord. There's so many practices that we have in our toolbox. We may not be aware of them, we may not be able to see them, we may not be able to pick them up, but they're still there. So we can lean into that. We can lean into meditation in any moment. We can lean into prayer in any moment. We can lean into gratitude in any moment. We can lean into forgiveness in any moment. We can lean into coming back to the nowness of this moment, stepping out of time, present, past, future, in any moment. There's nothing that is stopping us, that is hindering us, that is obscuring us, that is obstructing us, that is keeping us from moving into these beautiful practices. Nothing except for the excuses, for the excuses for the excuses that we entertain in our own minds, the beliefs about ourselves, about the world, the stories, the fantasies, the judgments, the opinions. There's nothing stopping us. God is good. God is good. And as God is all that there is, it means that good is all that there is. So in every single moment, we can come back to taking on the knowing and feeling that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good. It may not look like it, but I can still take on that feeling tone. We can still take on that feeling tone. And when we move from that vibration, that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good, guess what? Well, the sacred laws begin to pick up on that vibration. And the whole universe rises up to meet us there. So that will become our experience. That will become our experience. It cannot be in any other way. It has to, and it will. So once again, we're all invited to take a good, honest look at our habits and ask the question, the habits that I'm having, are they serving me? Or is there a way for me, is there an opportunity for me to expand my practice, to tweak my habits, to up-level my habits? That's the invitation of the day. And we're all invited to participate to the very best of our ability. Thank you so much for tuning in, for joining me. Until the next time, I absolutely bless all of our ways, and I bless all of our days. Namaste.